Thomas Hameline, 40-year-old father of two and one bonus child, here from mid-Michigan area. I actually got introduced to the InvolvedDad's program through Genesee County Jail InReach program, which was referred to me, and best thing that's happened to me in quite a while for sure.
One of the things, like many things stood out to me the other day when that took place, but one of the things that really stood out, man, was your significant other stood up when it was over and made some powerful statements about you, about the man that you are today and how you're impacting the young lady that was sitting at the table with you. Could you tell me, man, like honestly, the words that she said, and I didn't ask you that night, but I'm asking you on the camera now, but what was that like? Like, what did that mean to you, like, for real?
You know, I can't believe I didn't just bust out in tears. It's been a difficult past year for my girlfriend, her daughter, and I. There's been serious ups and serious downs, and for the past 4 months since I've been here, I came to a class with other men that choose to be here. They want to be here, whether it's they want to see their kids. Ultimately, that's the main goal, but everybody wanted to be here, not just for that, but really to get ourselves better. Every single week I would get something, and I would go home and try to use it with my girlfriend. Honey, I love you too much to argue. You know, that was always a big one, and you know, just being able to change the way I speak to him or spoke is just night and day difference. When emotions are high, cognitions are low. So
come on.
It's never a bad idea to take a 5-minute break before you say something that you feel is emotionally motivated. What I feel emotionally is not always, most time, probably majority of the time not, the proper thing to say or do at that time and situation. So myself, I've had to learn, slow down, take a step back, 5-minute break. Honey, I love you. Give me 5 minutes. Let's talk about this again.
That's good.
And so that prevents me from doing impulsive things, from saying impulsive things. It really just puts up. She understands. At first, she's like, "Don't walk away from me," and just 5 minutes. So, but you know, to see the fruits of it when they come in and they have your back, and I got a good one there.
That's dope, man. That's dope.
Most definitely. I think it's the goal of every son who turns into a father to provide a little bit better than what you had growing up. In my case, I was pretty high standards. My dad was there all the time. Granted, he'd work his 40, 50 hours a week, but once he's done, let's go to baseball practice. He'd volunteer to coach there, soccer, wrestling. For my sister, she was involved in a bunch of different sports, and they were every game, I could always look over and see him and my mom there. So, and even a step further, their parents. Thankfully, 3 of the 4 are still alive, but I get to see how my grandparents have raised my parents, and I'm at a point where my grandparents can talk to me and my parents can talk to me, and I don't always like to hear what they say, but that communication line's definitely open, and without having a dad for me when I was growing up, who knows what would have happened. So it's a huge impact on my life, and I want to do the same with my kids.
That's dope, man. And so I assume that was one of the motivating factors, right?
Yes.
For signing up for our program, is that like you had an example, and a father who was involved and, who helped, raise you and develop you. And you're like, okay, I am not going to allow temporary circumstances to make a permanent decision of you not having access to your child. Is that one of the motivating factors why you?
100%. It was my impulsive behaviors that made that happen. So I take responsibility for it. I'm trying to repair that damage that I caused. But it's definitely, it's really both ways. A lot of times, most people, when you hear the word accountability, you think of it in a bad aspect, negative consequences. Yes, that's, when somebody does something wrong, there should be accountability for it. But on the other side, you got to praise them kids, praise the people you're around. I'll get better if I can build the people that are around me up more and more. Kind of play with your, play at the level that your team plays, right? So if I'm able to give a little bit of knowledge into somebody else, that's just going to improve my team. Personally, it's helped me in the process, and personally, this program's given me confidence. When I first started, there was very little confidence in myself and my life and pretty much everything at the time. 4.5 months later, I'm feeling better. I can walk around with my head up, knowing that I'm continually gonna do the next step that I have to get to the end goal of reuniting with the children. It's not a fast process, but it will happen. You just gotta give it time and just a little step by step, do the right thing each time that you get presented with the situation where you have a choice.